Oh. Good day, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob. Just checking in on y'all. Um, Out in the deep green on my neighbor's deck, and just was cruising around the internet, and pretty much what I see is it's the same as it ever was, right? And again, it's up to you guys to be your best, to do your best. So we were having a nice little chat uh, earlier in the day. I had a few friends on the phone, and we were talking about, oh, activism and what it's like and what it is. And, so why I am or have been involved in social activism, community activism, and it's been through art, right? I'm art party ringleader, cultural provocateur. That's on my business card. And so that provocateur is like cultural, meaning I am trying to get um, the cadre to have introspection and understanding of the world around them. And instead of just you know, glamming on to a ideological point of view where I believe this, this is what I believe, this is what I am, I believe this, I don't believe anything. What I do have is faith in love's co-creation. And in every day and every way, I take the piece of the earth and I make it stronger by serving that love's co-creation, right? And so a number of people came on the chat. There were a lot of nice comments, and there were, a couple of folk who were semi-trolly, and one of them put something that was, you could conceivably consider it um, obnoxious, and they hid it, right? Only I could see it. So I let everyone see it. And that's basically Dreamy Dreamland, right? And, first of all, if you come to this channel expecting any kind of ideological belief structure, no. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. No, you have to do that yourself. I will tell you stories. I'm a griot. That's what I do. And I will give you insights. You should go read Chris Hedges. You should go read Noam Chomsky. You should go read Joseph P. Farrell. You should go read, um, um, you know, Catherine Austin Fitz, and go to her website and all these people's websites. Dark journalism, Jimmy Dore. These are all people you should go see. And there are a lot of other people who I used to suggest, but they've had to hide, right? So they've gone to other platforms where you had to pay for it because people have harangued them so much. They put plus they want to make some money, and they won't be amortized by advertisements from Google or anybody else. And so Facebook, well, that's Google. Facebook isn't Google. No, YouTube is Google. Anyway, so and social media is the essence of the downfall of culture. I'm a cultural provocateur. Those things are people who are addicted to likes or etc. Right? And that's not what this Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob channel is about. And don't believe anything I say because it's all for entertainment's sake, right? Now, within that construct of entertainment, if it jars a little insight into your consciousness, well, that's all for the good, right? But it's your consciousness and your jarg, and it's up to you. And the only, no big movement's going to change anything. It's pretty much, we've been watching big movements going on in the United States for the last 200 plus years. Not so much has changed, same as it ever was. The white male oligarchy is, becoming smaller and smaller, more and more impotent, yet they cling to control some until that kind of crashes and burns. And it has all through history, Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, Rome, Spain, England, France, Russia, you name it, right? And so, and yes, the powers that be, the hidden hand is constantly trying to change things around. And, it doesn't quite work too well. Hey there, James. Jamie Hiller Rubis. And so, you know, um, and that is what I'm calling, I'm giving out this heralding call to the cadre that in your own neighborhoods, that's where you need to do something, not any big whoop-de-doo, right? If you want to start a YouTube channel, do it. If you want to do a podcast, do it. If you feel passionate about something, do it, you know? And the more that we do, and not try, but do, the better this world's going to be. The more we have empathy for all our relations, the better this world's going to be. And that's why the world is still here. If everyone was, in a negative frame, this world wouldn't, this, dynamic of a dimension wouldn't last. But it keeps, it's like the Timex watch, takes a licking, but keeps on ticking. So, and by doing this, by creating a cultural force in your own little life, in your own little neighborhood, amongst your own cadre, that's where you really will step up, where you will have happiness, where you will have the experience of growth. All of the schools and all of the teachers I've had, it's always been respect, love, understanding that has, furthered my journey. So I speak to you from this place of respect, that I respect your ability to change the world in your own life. You want to see change, that Michael Jackson's movie, The Man in the Mirror. I mean, that's a great, great song. I mean, Michael wrote some great songs. And because when he did that, I mean, he always let the voice inside him of love's co-creation speak. And no matter how he was influenced, hormonally or institutionally or culturally from the outside, he, would speak. Yep. So gifted and blessed. I mean, everything that we go through is a blessing. I mean, all of the trials and tribulations. I mean, yesterday was a very trial and tribulation day. And I just kept, every time I say, oh, yes, I'm being a moron here. Thank you, and I learned. Yeah, I love that song too. So that's where we're at, and we have this great opportunity. The more the world seems like it's falling apart, the more it's coming together, and again, anybody wants to talk to me personally, get a hold of me at thedudewake42@gmail, right? Anybody wants to put something in PayPal, please do. I can always use it. Anybody in America that wants to talk to me, leave your phone number on Gmail. Anybody who does, I have whatchamacallit, what are those things called? I have oh mm, mm, mm. I have WhatsApp and Viber, right? So anybody who's on those things, you can get a hold of me on those. Just send me your own phone number and I'll give you a ring. So I love talking to people individually, right? And it's that person I was going to call. They're like still busy, so we'll see how long we go. Let's try this other person here. Do, 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 do. Let's try Rev, the lucky guy. Hmm. I thought, let's see. Here, I'll try this. Do, 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 do. Well, that doesn't work. Let's see. Let's see what our traveler has to say. Um, yeah, a lull before the storm. Well, we've been in the washing machine for so long, you don't know what a storm is or what the low is. But the real key is to be in state, to be aware, be awake every moment of every day. So it doesn't matter whether the storm occurs or it's sunny weather. You can appreciate it, you know. The thing about not having much is you're very grateful for what you do have, right? The more and more we have, the more and more we want, right? And how it's a place and a time where we can actually take advantage of that lull or even the maelstrom, right? Mm-mm-mm. Hmm.
Party, that there should be a new leader of that party and therefore a new. Yes. More at CandidaFund.org. Carnegie Corporation of New York, supporting innovations in education, democratic engagement, and the advancement of international peace and security at Carnegie.org.
Dr. Bitnoff. Now he's interesting. Yes, Dr. Bitnoff was interesting. He was a character. He was one of the 70,000 Operation Paperclip Nazis that came into the United States and basically took over our government. And they had through, when the ship went down into Mexico, and 5 months later, the National Security Act was passed, and along with it came a thing called COG, continuation of government, which is a secret government. They talk about dark government. I mean, these are the darkest you get, right? And the way all these things are, they were written in such a way that they would only come to fruition with the need to put something in the place of the government that exists, right? And then they chipped away at the existence of the government till basically Ronald Reagan days. But Harry Truman, you know, they went after him. Ike, why do you think he made the speech? Hours before Kennedy took office, Ike goes. I mean, not the night before, but hours. He from the TV studio in the White House. He gives a speech about the military-industrial complex, and he was a little nervous. You watch that speech; he flubs virtually all of it. I mean, he's and because he's scared, he wants to make that speech so no one whacks him. You know that he doesn't seemingly to have a heart attack on the golf course. He wanted to basically be able to just go play golf and forget about everything because pretty much he left politics, left people. Things would happen. They'd ask his comments and say, "I'm an old guy, don't really care. It's tea time for me. See you guys." And that's what he wanted. Dr. Bittenhoff was a character who spanned time and space, so he was not just your regular Nazi. So if you've ever seen Hellboy, right, and that opening scene where the Nazis are on an island in Scotland and they are, opening up a doorway, with technology from the Thule Society. These ladies with really long hair would, go into state and bring out information, scientific, historical, astrological, astronomical, um, of things to come. And this is why Germany got this leap forward. Plus, they were given the spear of destiny, and whoever has it controls destiny. But if you have it, you're bound to be dead relatively soon. Oh, you made a live show. Congratulations, Fish. Oh, you made it here on a live show. Yes. Right. Okay. Well, you made your own. Either way, congratulations. I love you, baby. I haven't been able to my phone. Um, they've disconnected the tower that's around here, and they're redoing it um, for. So I kind of once I used to get a signal 60% of the time from the deep green. Now I get it maybe 2%, and it's usually late at night. So maybe, Fish, if I get a bar or so, I'll call you later tonight. But I haven't been able to get out. And then the only way I can get out is to drive 40 miles, into one of the three cities around here. And I don't have the money for the gas. It's so I don't go anywhere. Like today, I had a bunch of, I went and saw two doctors. I got some food. I, did four or five other things, and I made a nice little stop at one of my um, uh, Wi-Fi spots and had lunch. And I was waiting for a friend of mine to show up, and he never showed up. But I called another friend, and we had a nice discussion about um, being, social cultural activist, right? And what it is to be that. And what that is to be involved, to be connected, to be, there to serve loves co-creation, not just have a job, not just go through the motions, not just go on vacation, not to, buy a new car, et cetera, right? So, and all those things, there's nothing wrong with any of those things. But when you do them, if you do them, with conscious intent, I have three rules, right? My three rules: doctor, do no harm. Do not get involved unless you're going in to save the innocent and you have a workable exit strategy. And the third one is don't get involved unless you can learn something, right? Yep, sky high. And it's just going to go higher. And there's no reason for it. There's plenty of fuel everywhere, right? They're, making every excuse. It's definitely not Russia. Russia's pumping out more gas than it did before the war. Russia's making more money on its gas and oil now than it did before at the beginning of this war. Every war is a scripted event. There isn't anything straight up, true, righteous, you know, who wins, who loses. I mean, Germany, just zipped through Western Europe and could have stopped right there, right? And then turned towards England and then invaded them. I mean, they also had England's army and a good chunk of France's army and everybody else's army in Dunkirk. They had them surrounded. They could have taken them as prisoner and marched them to the east, right onto the border of the Ukraine, and put them in camps up there and had them grow food. But they let them escape. And if England did, England wouldn't be able to secure itself if they didn't have that 1.5 million guys, get out of Dunkirk and make it back to England, right? So then, Adolf waited almost a year before really getting serious about bombing. He wanted to get, he trying diplomacy. Hey, England, join us. We'll go up against Russia. Blah blah blah. And Winston Churchill would have nothing for it because he knew the script. You see that picture in Yalta, or not in Yalta, the one in Tehran. Towards the end of the war, there's FDR on death's door, Churchill and Stalin. They're all smiling because they know what's going on. Cold War didn't start until Winston Churchill gave a speech in the United States at a university, and he talked about Iron Curtain going up, right? I mean, this was all scripted, and what's going on now is all scripted. The fact that this war in Ukraine is going to get bigger and expand, and go up against NATO, and basically it's going to destroy the United States, China, EU, Britain. Not like physically, baboom. I mean, there is going to be exchanges of tactical nuclear weapons, yes, and certain strategic spots will get vaporized, but it won't be all-out nuclear war. I mean, just throwing a few nukes around will be enough to scare the crap out of the general population. And then when, people start really starving to death because of the curtailing of food and, the global warming, quote unquote, when I was, I went to a John Hopkins symposium, it was called Alternative 3, right? And was based on the book and the TV show that was done in England in the 60s, both, and Alternative 3 basically saying that there were certain, the planet goes through changes, and humans are basically like salt on a potato chip. We really have very little influence on what the planet's going to do. And the fact what we do has more of a detrimental effect on us than the planet. The planet's going to, we had total nuclear war and had nuclear winter. The planet would go on very nicely because that would have been, nothing compared to what, happened to the dinosaurs, or what happened to the solar system. Let's see. Did you see somebody blew up the stones? Really? Really? Holy moly! I didn't see that. That's quite interesting. I wonder who did that. Sandra. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, let's take a look at that one. Georgia Stones blown up.
Here's the definition of blown up: destroyed or severely damaged by an explosion.
Let's try this again. Georgia Stones blown up.
According to Wikipedia, the Georgia Guidestones was a granite monument that stood in Elbert County, Georgia, United States from 1980 to 2022.
What happened to the Georgia Guidestones in the last few days? Okay, let's see what they say. Oh, they're being demolished. Oh. Georgia Guidestones demolished after being damaged by explosion. Controversial role, Georgia monument dubbed by some as the America's Stonehenge, was bombed and ultimately demolished after explosion damaged one of the 4 granite panels early Wednesday morning. According to Georgia Bureau of Investigation, primarily information indicates that the unknown individuals detonated an explosive device at the Georgia Guidestones at around 4 a.m. on July 6th. Elbert County Sheriff deputies responded to the scene and reported that the explosion destroyed a large portion of the structure. That's interesting. The roadside attraction, I like the construction 1980 by unknown individual or group who used the name R.C. Christian. Okay. So that's quite interesting. The worst city in America is found in Tennessee. No kidding. America's most miserable cities ranked. You know, to go to that city, you could probably get a nice house. Mike Quarry. In a place to live, you might want to take a little stroll through, according to data from U.S. Census, the following cities are most miserable places to live in the country. That's based on factors like crime rates, commute times, and median household income. Keep reading in order to avoid moving to the most miserable. Yeah, Lord. The oldest living star. Bigger than the Titanic. Oh, that's nice. Yes. Tom Brady's new yacht is bigger than the Titanic. Anyway, that's that's a nice little crosscut of, yeah, I can't believe they're taking them down. Well, and they were blown up. Thanks, man. YouTube. Greg Schuer. Profound. So, I mean, that's just another. I just had a banana split this afternoon. Yum, yum. And as I was eating that banana split, every mouthful was like, I wonder what interesting, exciting catastrophe is going to happen next. Will it taste as good as this? Will it be the cherry on top of the whipped cream? It was really good whipped cream. And in the next table, there were these two cheeky little monkeys, and they were with their grandma, I'm pretty sure. And she was like screaming, I'm like, sit down, do this. And they just ignored her. And all they could do is look at me. And all I did was smile. I didn't say anything. And the kid was going, just like smiling back. It was quite interesting. And it was, stop that, eat your ice cream. Ah! She was, desperate to control. Wasn't doing such a good job. And that was like, a nice little metaphor to what's going on our planet. Yum, yum. So, this place makes a really good banana split. And if I have 3 of them a year, that's all I need. Right. So this was the first of the summer. Right. So, and it was, let's see, cherry something or other that was very yummy. Peach ice cream that was very yummy. And coffee. I hadn't had coffee ice cream in a long time, so I had that. And it had chocolate and strawberry and pineapple sauce with whipped cream and cherries. So, see, you got to do that every now and then. Not a lot, I used to, back in the day when I was working for the desperate corporate lawyers, I'd like had 6 banana splits a day, But that's when I was 460 pounds. And today I am down to 198. I'm doing pretty good. So I'm going to stick around 198. I think that's a good weight for me. Yep, you need a banana split, sweetheart. My good friend Fish. My lovely Fish. So, is there a good ice cream store, shop nearby you? Banana splits, yes. Zany comedy. Bit like life, really. Yeah, pretty much. I remember that show. Yeah. I mean, not as a kid. I was a boyfriend of a girl who basically, because I kind of related to her kids and she could go off and do whatever she wanted, I would be there taking care of them, and we would watch banana splits. And this was in Ireland, where they didn't have it on the TV, but you could get there in this little town, there was the guy had a video rental shop that he basically bootlegged everything. And it was amazing. So I had a ton of banana splits. Just a Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen doesn't even come close to. These guys actually make their own ice cream. They do a very nice job. So like I said, the world we're in right now is no different than what has been for the last, 100,000 years, right? And the real difference is that in 2012, we went from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age, and the the inertia of the Piscean drama is still affecting us, and we just have to step back and say no. We are citizens of the Aquarian age, and we're going to let love's co-creation be the manifestation of the world around us. Right? So anyway, that's the story. Let's see, what time is it? I'm going to try my friend, see what she's up to. And I'm gonna have to leave pretty soon because the no-see-ums and mosquitoes they come out. I mean, they're very nice in that they come out between 5:30 and 7:30, then they go away, and then they come out in the morning around 6:30 to 7:30, and then they go away. So, but if you're out and about, let's see. Hmm. Ringing. That's a good sign. So this is my friend Captain Monica from Salvation Army, and she is just the best, right? She and I were going after the powers that be in Virginia, and she was captain of the Salvation Army. She was wearing the uniform, right? She was like Captain America to me, and she's not answering. Anyway, um, and she was a rising star, and she went off to be a diplomat, to be representing Salvation Army at the Vatican. So she's quite fun, and she's got a great husband and great kids, and they're just a great team. They are the perfect example of people who don't try. They do their best every day, even the little guys. I mean, when they were around me, that was a good 5 years ago. The kids were little. I think the oldest was like 6, and the next one was like 4, and the next one was 2.5, and they all could speak, and they all looked good, and they all understood, and they were all part of the team. They were really quite an amazing family. Do, 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 do. Let's see if she answers. Form. So beautiful. Boop, boop. She's not going to answer. She's at work. Anyway, so I'm going to leave because I'm going to be eaten alive pretty soon. It's 37 minutes. When it hits 37 minutes and 37 seconds, I'll see you later. And like I said, it's the evening. If I get a barfish, I'll give you a jingle. And anybody who wants to talk to me, send me your contact information. Email me at thedudeaway42@gmail, and I'll get right back to you as best as I can. And if you're in America and you got a phone number, you can send it to me, and I will, call you up. There's a guy named Jay who says he lives in my neighborhood, and I said to him, again, send me the phone number on email. He wants me to give him exact location where I live, and until I talk to somebody, I really don't do that. So anyway, Anthony, there's hey buddy, how you doing? How's Sweden? Did you see my email? No, let's see if I can. I'll go take a look right now. I think I did. You were gone. You were talking about being in Sweden and that you didn't have WhatsApp anymore, right? And you were lamenting that you can't come to America because you won't get the jab. What could go wrong? The worst, you die. Do-do-do-do. Brent, YouTube, JC, Brent, Anthony, here you are. Oh, let's see. Hey, Al, I'm in Asla in Sweden. And again, you should get a hold of Alana. She's kind of near where, she's in Sweden. So I don't, Asla, I'm not quite sure where that. She's kind of almost in the middle of Sweden. You are never far from our thoughts, but I don't have WhatsApp anymore. What happened to that? How come you don't have WhatsApp? If you want to call, we should some blah, 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 Telegram. If you want, I can ask blah, 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 her number, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it works in Europe anyway, but miss you. And like I said, guys, come on. You can just get here and we can hit the road. We could have some real fun, Anthony. The dynamic trio. I have a couple other friends who want to go traveling with me. We could be like, the Dharma bums, of the 21st century. Let's see. Yeah, Canada's almost getting more fascist than America. And they're so polite. Who would have thunk it to be in this extremist politics and that my human rights, such as can even visit continent, but North America are free to travel, whether they are vaccinated or not. Yeah, I mean, come on, it's called fascism for a reason. Right? Otherwise, I would love to come to visit you and Pete's Saint of Truth, and I miss you both being together. Lots of love, Al Bob. Something. I'm still living on shoestring. Yep, I can relate to that. You are always in my heart. Yep, I love you, Anthony. Stay well, be good. Boop. Yeah, and so yes, I just read your email. Yep. There it is. So yep, you can always get a hold of me, uh, Anthony, on my email, and along with everybody else, the dudewake42 at Gmail, dudewake42 at Gmail, right? So it's all good. Boy, time, it was 33 seconds and now it's 41 seconds. See, the time is pretty slippery. So I'm working on my novels, and I love anybody who wants to read them, get a hold of me at the dudewake42 at Gmail, and I'll email them to you. You can give, and I send them up to a lot of people. And they always go, "Oh, this is just so amazing." Blah, blah. They don't give me any real. I need construct. I back in the day when I was a photographer and I studied with Lisette Model and Cartier-Bresson, and they would have a really beautiful um, thing where they had a great apartment on Fifth Avenue, right at Washington Square, because they taught at the New School, and they had this thing. It was a co-op. They had it forever. And it had this beautiful veranda, and they were like on the 6th or 7th floor, kind of up above the traffic noise, and it faced west and south, right? And if you got it to the corner, you could look east too, not north. You could look north up Fifth Avenue, right? So you could see all directions. It was beautiful. It was right on the corner of Washington Square and Fifth Avenue, right? And right where NYU is, and McDougal Street is over there, Broadway's over there. Anyway, they would have a salon, and they both taught at the New School of Photography, and they had a salon group where they would invite you to come, and you'd have 10 prints, and you'd have to show them. And the photographers were people like Gary Winograd, and who else was in my group? Hilton Braithwaite, and Alan. He was the photo editor of the Village Voice. Alan Tannenbaum, and who else? Lynn. Really great photographer. What's Lynn's name? Escaping me. And about 3 others, and me. And I was not the kid anymore. I was the dude by then. So I was probably 24 or 5. And everybody was a few years older than me. Not much. They're in their later 20s or early 30s. And we all had to bring 10 prints, right? We had to shoot at least 50 and pick 10, right? Have, best printed, best image, best, And I loved it because we would do critique, not criticize, critique. And it's like a lost art. No one knows how to critique. I seem like to be the only guy to critique things. Even guys who are on TV, radio, who are like, talking about books and movies and such. And they don't really critique because they come from a place where they either really like it or really don't. And that's not critique, Critique is when you deconstruct something and you look at all its parts and say, well, this is great, this is not so great, this doesn't fit there, but because there's always really good things and really not so good things and stuff. Yes. Born to hunt. This is my my hide in plain sight hat. It also is very protective of my eyes. Now that I'm getting my eyes operated, I'm being protective of my eyes. I'm wearing glasses all the time, and it protects them. Because after getting operated on, I got some smush in my eyeballs, and luckily it wasn't a bad thing. I went and saw my doctors and all that, and the operation in one of my eyes. I have another one to go because they don't do two at once. They do one and see if it's okay, and then weeks go by, and then they do the other one. So I got my 10-day exam, and everything was fine. So, and it actually does work. Mexico is perfect, but most are going into Mexico. Once you're in US, it'd be cool. Rent a car and drive. Yep. Yep. So, what can I say? It's no reason to worry. Things are as they should be. This is a great opportunity for everyone to be their best, right? Don't have to be perfect. You just have to do your best. That's all you got to do, right? Even when you're a moron, you can still do your best. So, yeah, the bugs are starting to really go for me. So I'm going to say arrivederci. You guys continue your conversation with each other. I speak to you on Messenger more. The southern one. Anyway, gang, I gotta go. The bugs are starting to get thick. Okay. Love you. Catch you later.